We don't go to the movie theater to be lectured to and to have somebody throw their ideology onto us. I wonder if it'll be successful.
You know what it says on his cape? MS-13.
MAGA today was getting a little upset that he called Superman an immigrant. I wanted to get your reaction.
Folks, the MAGA mind virus has claimed another victim, and it's Superman. MAGA morons from Fox News host to Ben Shapiro had an absolute meltdown today over the new Superman movie that they are calling Super Woke because the iconic hero movie embraces pro-immigrant themes. It's not like we didn't know that empathy and basic human decency was MAGA's kryptonite all along. But the insane meltdowns, the fallout, and how things are panning out are exposing a lot. So much so that the movie's director, James Gunn, has responded and shut down the MAGA morons in a similar fashion to how I imagine Superman will shut down Lex Luthor.
Somebody needs a hug.
I haven't seen the movie, so no spoilers, but clearly neither have these idiots. But that didn't stop them from jumping on the hate bandwagon to push their pathetic propaganda. So let's break it all down, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel.
Superman, he's gone woke. That is the message that we're getting out of this latest MAGA meltdown. Right, and that is James Gunn, the writer and director of the new Superman movies, having to defend himself from a wave of right-wing backlash after saying that Superman's story is an immigrant story. You know, I should explain that the whole thing, it started over the weekend when the Times of London published an interview with Gunn where he said, quote, Superman is the story of America, an immigrant that came from other places and populated the country, but for me it is mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and is something we've lost. And then when he was asked if the film might play differently in blue states and cities versus red ones, Gunn said, yes, it plays differently, but it's about human kindness, and obviously there will be jerks out there who are just not kind and will take it as offensive just because it is about kindness. But screw them. The Superman does seem to come at a particular time when people are feeling a loss of hope in other people's goodness. I'm telling a story about a guy who is uniquely good and that feels needed now because there is a meanness that has emerged due to cultural figures being mean online. Right, and all of this is, I don't know how many people out there have like no working knowledge about Superman, but he's a literal alien. Right? If he's an immigrant crossing the border, he crossed the border into Earth. He's from the planet Krypton. His name's Kal-El. He got to Earth. He was given the name Clark Kent. He became an icon of American identity. But anyone who knows literally anything at all about Superman knows that he comes from a very, very, very far away place. But still, despite all that context, the usual suspects reacted in the usual ways. And so, when Fox News covered James Gunn's comments, they put the phrase super woke on the chyron and said things like,
well, I think that I'm at no risk of hurting my 22-year streak of not going to the movie theater.
I got to look at the script, and he's from Uganda, and there's a love scene with Batman and Robin.
We don't go to the movie theater to be lectured to and to have somebody throw their ideology onto us. I wonder if it'll be successful.
You know what it says on his cape? MS-13.
You then also had the likes of Ben Shapiro, who took a break from pushing the DOJ and FBI's talking points on Epstein and minimizing people's questions over it to say,
the attempt to separate Superman off from America is just a demonstration by the cultural left of how much they dislike America.
Right, you had other people echoing that online as well. But also, one, James Gunn is literally talking about an alien who came to Earth. And two, even if you want to say that James Gunn is talking about Superman being an allegory for immigration, he would be far from the first person to do so. In fact, that has been part of the comic book lore for decades. Where the character was actually created by two men who were the sons of Jewish immigrants. In books written as far back as the 80s, they have said that Superman asserts, quote, the value of the immigrant in American culture. You've even had DC Comics partnering with the International Rescue Committee to celebrate World Refugee Day, with them literally using Superman as a symbol there, and the group referring to his story as a refugee success story. Hell, in 2017, a comic writer who's worked on Superman since the late 80s called Superman, quote, the ultimate immigrant. And so all of that, at minimum, is to say that even though immigration is a hot button issue right now, referring to Superman as an immigrant it's not anything new, which is then why you have so many just mocking this right-wing outrage and anyone just realizing that a man famously born on a foreign planet is widely viewed as an immigrant. With you then seeing James Gunn, as well as others involved in the new Superman film, responding to all the backlash last night at the film's premiere in Los Angeles. With us then seeing, for example, Variety asking Gunn what he had to say to MAGA people complaining, and there he said,
I don't have anything to say to anybody. Like, I'm not here to judge people, you know. I think this is a movie about kindness, and I think that's something everyone can relate to.
You then also had them asking actors who appear in the movie, like Nathan Fillion and Sean Gunn, who's James Gunn's brother, about the situation, and they said,
MAGA today was getting a little upset that he called Superman an immigrant. I wanted to get your reaction.
Somebody needs a hug. It's just a movie, guys.
It is exactly what the movie is about, I think, that we support our people, you know? We love our immigrants. People who say no to immigrants are against the American way. They're against what the American dream is all about.
But hey, for now, we'll have to wait to see what happens, right? The movie is releasing this week. We're going to have to see what happens with the box office. Right now, you've got analysts thinking that it could open at around $130 million, though the studio figures are a bit more reserved, thinking that it might be between 90 to 125 million. And so far, the early reviews are promising, though that's not going to take into account the potential review bombing that happens in situations like this.
So clearly only time will tell how this all pans out, but this is where I want to know what you guys think. What do you think, of course, of the MAGA meltdown and how stupid it all is? And of course, what do you think of James Gunn and the cast response? For me, I think the MAGA meltdown was absolutely moronic and idiotic and just born out of their hateful ideology, and it just shows that a lot of them do need a hug. So shout out to Nathan Fillion for that. I absolutely love the guy. I think they handled it perfectly. Laughing it off, not making a big deal about it like Fox News does, because it's clearly stupid rage bait for the sake of rage bait, and it just makes the Fox News, the MAGA, the Ben Shapiro look like fucking idiots. And hateful un-Americans, can't forget that part, of course. But that is the story of the latest MAGA meltdown on top of the meltdowns about Jeffrey Epstein and how Trump is not doing what they want and fire Pam Bondi. It's just like every single day, these morons have a different culture war issue to whine and cry and victimize themselves about. And if you're sick of that, just like I am, then by all means drop a like, subscribe to the Really American channel where we cover their stupidity and make fun of it, but we also bring you the news and cover the on-the-ground, real-time reporting that you value and need to know. So we appreciate all you watching and joining our Really American Resistance. We are almost 600,000 strong, and with your help, we can probably get there by hopefully next month, who knows. And hell, go see Superman, drop a nice review if you enjoy it, to fight back against these MAGA review bombers. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hess. I will see you guys in the next one.
And there's a love scene with Batman and Robin.
We don't go to the movie theater to be lectured to and to have somebody throw their ideology onto us. I wonder if it'll be successful.
You know what it says on his cape? MS-13.
Somebody needs a hug. It's just a movie, guys.
It is exactly what the movie is about, I think, that we support our people.